Halo Combat Evolved was a great game in 2001. It revolutionized first-person shooters on consoles with its gameplay and its story. It was so successful, creating a sequel was an absolute no-brainer. When Halo 2 released in 2004, it was regarded as not only a fantastic sequel, but one of the best video game sequels of all time. Nearly everything Halo Combat Evolved did, Halo 2 did better. So why am I talking about Halo in a Doom Eternal review? Well, outside of being a first-person shooter featuring a sometimes silent space marine, I believe that there is a parallel between these two series. Granted, the Doom reboot didn't revolutionize first-person shooters in ways Halo 1 did in 2001. But what I'm getting at is this. Doom Eternal is the Doom reboot's Halo 2. You might be thinking, that's a bold claim. But I'm here to tell you that Doom Eternal is a worthy successor to its predecessor. When I said that Doom Eternal is the Halo 2 of the reboot series, I mean that the sequel includes major improvements across the board compared to Doom 2016. The Doomslayer is given more tools to work with this time around. On top of the arsenal he has in the last game, minus the pistol, he now has air dashing, wall climbing, monkey bar swinging, a flamethrower shoulder cannon, 2 different grenades, and a powerful punch. On top of all of that, he has a hook attached to his super shotgun, which is a very fun tool to use, especially with a specific rune equipped. Boom! Gameplay feels fantastic. Too fantastic if you ask me. So much so, I'm afraid of going back to the last game. The Doomslayer is given so many mobility options in Eternal that returning to the Doom reboot would feel like moving at a snail's pace. I'm serious. The only way to understand what I'm talking about is through visuals. Here's a bit of gameplay from the Doom reboot. And compare that to the sheer speed and chaos of Eternal. It's like night and day. The marketing for the game didn't lie. There's twice as many demons to kill this time around. One would think this would be repetitive, but that's not the case here. There are some old and new demon types this time around. You got your imps, zombies, cacodemons, and hell knights from the first game, with arachnotrons, gargoyles, tyrants, and marauders thrown into the mix. For a Twitch shooter, this game will make you think about what you're fighting against and will actively punish you hard for even the tiniest of mistakes. I would say that this game is much harder than the first game. Doom is a series where if you stay in one place for too long, you'll end up signing your own death warrant. Now, you'll need to keep in mind about which weapons are effective against specific demons. Every single demon has a weak point that can be exploited. Launch a grenade to a cacodemon's mouth to stun it for a glory kill. Shoot the revenants and mancubi cannons to limit their combat options. Use the plasma rifle to blow up a shield demon. By the end of the game, you'll end up using every single weapon. The world of Doom Eternal is simply fantastic. The game is running on a new version of id Tech, and the technology opens up new ways players can interact with the campaign. Levels are much larger than the last game. Environments have more variety and contain much more environmental detail. I'm just amazed at how well Doom Eternal runs on the base Xbox One. And when I say base Xbox One, I mean that VCR looking system. The load times are a much needed improvement over the Doom reboot. What would take about a minute to load a level in the first game takes about less than a quarter of that time in Eternal. All of what I described so far can be seen in the Doomslayer's base of operations, the Fortress of Doom. This area serves as a hub world for Doom Eternal. It serves as a break from the chaos and lets the player explore as they see fit. From here, you can choose to progress to the next mission, replay older missions to complete challenges and discover secret items, and unlock new abilities and skins. You can even see the Doomslayer's humble abode. A lot of the environmental detail I mentioned before can be seen here. In a typical game, objects like books that aren't interactable are usually left being poorly rendered. In Doom Eternal, these books are rendered and legible, making the fortress feel more lived in. I personally love it when a developer goes this far for detail. To me, it's the little things that count. The game takes place sometime after the events of the reboot. Hell has taken over planet Earth. It's up to the Demon Slayer to prevent the takeover of Hell's army and save humanity. That's more or less the digest version of the story of Doom Eternal, but there's more to it than that. Much like the Doom reboot, most of the lore can be found in the in-game codex as the game progresses. Quite a lot of lore if you ask me. Triple the amount of what the Doom reboot had. Soon enough, you'll learn more about Argent Energy, the Night Sentinels, and the Makers than you'll know whatever day it is today. Unlike the Doom reboot, however, Eternal uses cutscenes that, for better or worse, take the action away from the player. While I appreciate the cinematics, I don't think it suits a game where the objective is shoot first, ask questions later. Cutscenes do exist in the last game, but not only are they there for a short period of time, but they feel more personal as it's through the viewpoint of the Slayer. Do I even need to praise Mick Gordon's excellent work again? The music is just as good as the last game. In my last video, I mentioned how music can enhance a player's experience. This was what I was talking about. When these hordes of demons are trapped in a room with you, the music comes in raw and hard. Does this mean that Doom Eternal is an absolutely perfect game? Well, I'm lying if I said that was the case. Don't get me wrong, this is a must-buy for fans of the reboot, but there are a few things that irk me a bit during my playthrough of the campaign. Once again, Mick Gordon presents another badass soundtrack for the game. However, I can't help but feel that there isn't that much variety this time around. Sure, this was something even the Doom reboot had as well, but it feels more noticeable this time around. Surprisingly, there aren't that many glitches to be found in the game, but when they happen, sometimes by pure accident. There's also one enemy type that is both my favorite and least favorite to fight against: the Marauder.
You were never one of us. You were nothing but a usurper, a false idol. My eyes have been opened. Let me help you to see, Slayer.
This enemy is difficult to fight against because it requires you to change your tactics from what you're used to. Come too close, he'll use a shotgun. Stay too far, he'll either chase after you for a melee hit or throw his axe at you. Any attacks you inflict will be blocked by his shield. Did I forget to mention that he would sick his auto-tracking flaming dog at you as well? Fun stuff! The best method to killing a Marauder is to keep engagement at mid-range and time your attacks to his axe swing. While I like the idea of an enemy being an equal to the Doomslayer, my inner edgelord loves the design by the way, the Marauder puts the fast-paced action to a crawl. I mentioned earlier in the review how Doom Eternal is the Halo 2 of the reboot series, where nearly everything the first game did, the sequel did better. That's not to say that Halo 2 was absolutely perfect, and most of us know the reason why. Whereas the campaign is fun from beginning to end, its multiplayer offerings, or in this case, only offering, is a slight disappointment. A quick overview. Battle mode is a multiplayer mode where it's one lone Doomslayer versus two demons. The Doomslayer must eliminate the two-player controlled demons while fighting off other demons in the arena. The Doomslayer is allowed an arsenal of weapons with one weapon mod each, while the two players in the demon team can play as a select few demons with specific tools and are able to summon their own demons to combat against the Doomslayer. After each round, each faction receives upgrades for the next round. If both teams reach a third round, they can choose a powerful upgrade like using a BFG or summoning a Baron of Hell. The winner is decided in a best out of 5 match. I don't hate the mode. Compared to the Doom Reboot's multiplayer mode, I had more enjoyment playing battle mode. There's a level of strategy to be found when battling against the demons. For example, as the Doomslayer, I could get faster dashing refreshes for the next round, or I could get more health pickups from enemies. On the demon side, summoning placement and composition is important and is a determining factor for how long a match can go on for. It could be as long as 12 minutes or as short as 30 seconds per round. My issue is that at the time of writing this review, this is the only online mode available. This mode only contains 6 maps that can get easily repetitive. Sure, it's fun for about an hour or so, but I wouldn't have a reason to keep playing it for any longer than that. To be honest, I wanted to see Doom Snap Map come back as a way to add replay value to this mode. To me, it doesn't matter how many cosmetic items I can potentially earn. If it means replaying one lone online mode, then I would rather play through the campaign again. As a side note, I wasn't entirely sure if it's on my end, or if it's another player's connection, or if it's the way the netcode is designed, but I have noticed heavy lag while playing through battle mode. When this mode was shown at E3 2019, the mode seemed to be a fun diversion from the campaign. While it was more fun than the standard multiplayer mode, battle mode didn't hook me to play for hours on end, and it's a shame, because I was looking forward to it. I like this offering better than the standard multiplayer mode offered in the Doom Reboot, but I feel that it could have been so much more. Even with my few criticisms and nitpicks of the overall package, Doom Eternal stands as a worthy successor to the Doom Reboot. I did have a few problems with the campaign and battle mode, but they're nothing more than just that, nitpicks. I cannot deny how much fun I had playing through the plus 15 hours of campaign and the time spent playing battle mode. Once again, the campaign alone is worth every penny spent, and the multiplayer offering is an improvement over the Doom Reboot. And with more content coming soon in the form of new modes, free content, and new campaign missions, I can safely say that the war against Hell's Army is far from over. Doom Eternal is everything I loved about my personal game of the year, only cranked to 11.